Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, be seekers and sojourners of truth. 144, the chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth. From my heart to yours, I am Celestial Earth in this divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from none other than 5D, the fifth dimension and the place to be. And as usual, I'm bringing you the news to infuse. If you so choose to infuse with that light, lighting up, all of us that's lighting up on the light grid, the light gritters, the intergalactic gritters, as one of you have mentioned to me. Thank you, Janoa. I like that term, the intergalactic light gritters, because we all intergalactic light beings. We're all star seeds, and we are activating on this grid. So we're gritting. We're gritting. My daughter would say, we're winning. So I'm letting us know we're gritting. And for those who choose not to, as I always say, it's choice, but be prepared to get fried on the grid, because you will be clashing with the fifth density light that is pouring in. Right? So welcome, welcome into the 5D. Feel the love, join the community, become part of the starseed community, the Syrian starseeds. We're growing. We're showing all of that good stuff, right? Especially showing, right? All of us that just had the 9-9, we are giving birth. We're birthing some things. We're rebirthing into some true new timelines, all of that good stuff. The timelines are collapsing. All that is happening. That is so fun. Whee! All right. With that, I want to share some information actually from a message I got today about the uploading and downloading of the light energy and information. So before I do that, if you haven't already done so, please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare. If you don't know what to say, leave some emojis, some hearts, some stars. I love stars. I love hearts. I love hearts and stars. Anything that just resonates with you, feel free to leave that. And I love that you all are sharing. I answered some comments, I believe it was yesterday, and it was profound on the numbers of the 9-9 portal, and I did respond to you all on there. And I love that you all are interacting with each other. That's the best. I'm like, yay, we're building our community. So I don't have to be the one to answer. Sometimes someone else, like I invite you all to do, if you see it come across a comment and you have an answer, we all got pieces to the puzzle, y'all. So share the light, share the love. It don't just got to come from me, right? And I love that we keep it in love. Like there's no negativity. There's no space for negativity. I don't harness that anyway. I bring nothing but love and light. So those who are going to be attracted are going to come in love and light. So I love that we're sharing this love, light, energy, and information. So keep doing that. Thank you. To follow up for those who may not have seen it, he brought up a very valid point about the 9-9 portal, in which I was speaking about the numbers that add up. Just to kind of briefly share this with others who may have been wondering the same thing. Usually when we add the numbers of the date, meaning the entire date, so 9-9, to 9-9-2024, you don't include the zeros, you just add each digit, right? And so it did equal to a universal day of, I believe, 26, which the 2 and the 6 is the 8, and I mentioned that. The question was about the next day, which they saw it on the next day, so it was like, what about today? It was 9-10-2024, and when you count it, you don't really count it as 9 plus 10 plus the 2024, meaning the 8, the universal year 8. You count it as 9-1. From the number 10, you only count the digit, the 1, right? But it doesn't even matter, because even with the way he counted it, it still equaled a universal code of 9. Meaning if you add up all the numbers the way he did it, it was 9 and 9 is 18. I believe he did plus another 8, something added, it all totaled up to 27, right? If I'm saying this correctly. And 27 is 999, right? 2 and 7 is 9. So even if you added it that way, the 9 plus the 10 plus the 8, it would still equal 9, the 2 and the 7. And adding it the way that I said, which was counting the 10 as 1, the digit 1, you would add 9 plus 1, which equals 10, and then you add the year of 8, which is 18, and that total is 9, because 8 and 1 is 9. So whether you did it the other way, either way, they both equaled 9. So you see? And you are practitioners, you all are practicing, as I mentioned. This is why some of you need to get the calendar. The calendar is a tool. It's not just to tell time. It's a tool that can help you in your divine. It helps you open up to your divine self, utilizing, expanding your divinations, which those who mentioned this to me, the two of them, both of you I mentioned, you're opening up into your numerology. If you can do that, then you can also find portals as well. This is how I find portals, through the numerology, the divine numbers, right? So keep doing it. I advise you to get a calendar and mark down in there when you add the dates up as you go along, and see where you find these energetic hotspots. This is a tool. Use it, right? So again, I'm not just saying, hey, get the calendar because it looks good and it's cute, and it's to help you jump timelines. It's to help you leave the Gregorian timeline and enter into a true timeline, a true timeline, not the only, because there are multiple timelines, but at least be on a true timeline. And also, it is a tool that helps you step into your deeper into your soul work, moving away from the holidays and more into your soul. And also, as they showed, finding the numbers. So, ta-da! All right, so I welcome you into that. With that said, anything else I need to remind us of? Yes, the same 3 people I'm waiting on: Rhonda Calvin, I Am, and Stacy Holder. Please send that information in, and let's infuse on the light grid. So let me go in a little bit on this uploading, downloading. This should be pretty brief. I didn't write down. I don't have a download that I wrote down. The download mainly just came in the meditation, so I still have it here in my heart, where it all starts. So with that, uploading, what I got in the meditation is that when we upload, when we're pinning up, as information is being pinned up, and this is how I saw it in the meditation, like a pin, like when someone's pinning clothes up. And as I saw it, I was like, well, what does this mean? And it just started to play out, and it was like, oh, okay. And it was highlighting that this is how the energy is. This is what we're doing when we're bringing in energy, and when energy is going up. As we're doing our soul work, we are pinning, like how the clothes were shown to me being pinned on a line. As we are evolving, ascending in our souls and elevating, every time we do shadow work and we remove something and we build, we are pinning something up on our soul. It's an accomplishment or building up of our soul. And it's like, what I was getting the feeling is kind of like when we're adding to our resume, we're adding to our spiritual or our starseed resume, whatever we've come here to do. And it's like you're adding it up. Boom, boom. Here's the next thing. Here's the next thing. And so that is the incline, the soul's incline. Every time you get to another level, it's like stick a pin. Boom, another level, stick a pin. And you're continuing to build, and you're building your resume. Individually, I should say incrementally, as well as holistically. So even holistically, within your overall soul, your dimensional, the holisticness of your dimensional soul, your multidimensional soul self, you are building that resume for however many times you've been here, or whatever you are also removing off your karmic loop. Either way, as you're removing things, you're building. The more you're removing the karmic soot off your soul, you're adding to your resume. You're building and building. So you're pinning up. And so it's important that we understand that when we pin that up, it's an accomplishment, right? And then it was showing me that as we're coming down, right, before I say coming down, as we're pinning up and knowing that this is accomplishment that we're adding to, it is the creative activity. It is to know. They want us to understand and know that this is the creative activity. This is the uploading, right? And as we do, every time we pin something, look at it like that. Thank you, Spirit. Every time you pin something, you are uploading and putting it up to the next level, up and up, right? So it is with that we understand, overstand, and understand this uploading design as a part of this entire divine matrix that we're a part of. And I say divine matrix, okay? Not mankind's matrix. There is a divine matrix that we're all a part of. This is the convoluted universe, so to speak, or the labyrinth of the universe. And as we're coming down, it was showing me, well, this is pinning it up is going down, is accomplishing, and pinning up is going up. Coming down is when we allow. So going up, accomplish. Coming down, allow. We're allowing the light to flow. We're allowing the flow of the transmission of light to come through, the information to come through and come down, descending, however you want to look at it. But we're allowing that flow, and that is the downloading. That is the receptive activity, and that is when we're downloading from the universe, right? So when we're pinning up, we're uploading this information, this light. This is the uploading of the light, energy, and information. Light, energy, and information are synonymous. So this is the uploading of that light into the universe. This is how the universe knows. It's like registering it, right? Registering and transmitting what is to be known, right? Back into the unknown, because we come from the unknown, right? To rise in our known light, right? Rise in our wisdom back to our divinity, and then back into the unknown. So taking what is known back into the unknown and this is the leveling up within the universe and within the multiverse, leveling up, up, up. So this is a constant up and down. And as I saw this, to be honest, I was aware of uploading and downloading already. I usually speak of it sometimes when I'm orchestrating meditation. Sometimes I'll say, and now we're uploading the light back up, so it's language that I use. For me, it's common language. However, this time it was being shown to me why it is important to pin up. I was specifically being shown when you pin the clothes on the line, and why it is important to pin up every time. It is a part of the creative activity. It's a part of the completion, is what it was showing me. As part of the completion, when you accomplish something, it is important to, the pin up represents accomplishing. Let me say it that way. It's not pinning up things just to pin it up, just to say, hey, I pinned this up. Matter of fact, you don't get to pin up unless you have a completion, either a spiritual completion or a cyclical completion. But a completion, more likely a cyclical completion, where you get to re-spirit. And I'll speak more on that cyclical completion, because I have some information about that was actually downloaded. I get so much information. It's like I got backed up topics, because I was supposed to do that, in the last video. So I have that to share with you about the cyclical information and the 144. But I digress. So this completion, you do not get to pin up until you have a completion. So it is to set the tone of the accomplishment, is when you get a pin up, so to speak, right? I should call this the pin up, right? The uploading is the pin up. And so the downloading is when we get the information from the universe, and that information is coming through. And that's how we get downloads. Like you hear some of us say it, like, this is the download that I got. This is the download I'm receiving. I'm probably getting some more downloaded codes coming in right now, just speaking about this. So, and I allow Spirit to bring that in. And let me invite that energy in right now. I allow Spirit to guide and bring that in as it chooses to come through. I invite the guides, angles of light surrounding about, to channel any information that needs to be passed through with this. So the codes that are coming in, this is the downloading that is happening, that's coming in. So as I saw this, Like I said, this is common language, but as it was being shown to me, it was expanding and expanding. I'm not saying this on a one-dimensional level. It expands multidimensionally, to seeing the grand scheme of it, so to speak, to seeing the broader view, right? And on a bigger level, it's to recognize from the micro to the macro, right? And on a macro level, it is when you really zoom out, you see the manifold of it all. And you see how it's not just the up and down. The next level I saw is how energy goes up and down through us all. And that this pinning up is the creative activity, as I've mentioned. So everything within this earth is creative. This earth is creative activity. It's manifested. Anything that is manifested from the micro to the macro, it's all creative activity. And so even the earth as a soul is elevating, evolving this energy, right? And pinning up, so to speak, and ultimately it's always uploading. And so it's to understand this creative activity. Let me say it this way first before I go any further. There's the going up, and this is why it says the right side is the masculine, the left side is the feminine. This is how it was even being shown to me in that way. Like, see, this is why the up and down, the up and down. So you're going up, 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 up. Not that it literally has to stay on your right side, but this is a visual that I'm given, and why it's understood that our right side is the masculine energy as the giver, and the left side is the feminine energy as the receiver. And it's highlighting that giving is the pinning up. It is a creative activity, and that receiving, and it is the uploading, and that receiving is the receptive activity. It is the downloading that we are getting, and it is the the way that we receive information and take it in, right? And then here's the funny thing, the receiving is the giving, is what it was showing me. Although we notice that the information that comes in, what's coming down, what's being downloaded is through the receptive activity. So although we hear the word receiving, this is how the information is being given onto us, and we are the receptors. This is why we have to be in the feminine energy. We have to be in the receiving aspect in order to receive the downloads, right? And so the creative is the what we are giving, right? Creative is the giving, and as we're creating, we are giving back into, we're sending that back up into the universe, and the universe receives, which is what it naturally does anyway. It's always in its receptive mode. But out of the receiving, the universe is the space of receiving. So out of the receiving comes the information to be able to be here and create, to be able to have this earth. The creativity, the creative activity comes out of the receptive activity of the universe. And then we build our resume, which is the creative activity, and send it back up into the ethers, right? Back into the receptive activity. So it's looking at it like that as it flows within us, up and down, uploading, downloading, receiving and creating. As we're uploading, we are creating. As we're downloading, we are receiving, right? So that's the scope that it was highlighting to me. And as I go broader out, looking at what the earth is, as I was mentioning, it's a soul. It is time. I want us to kind of slow down while we look at this right now. It is the essence of time. Time itself is the creative activity. Time itself is as was said to me, the assimilation. And that's time, space, reality. For those who, if you didn't get a chance, look at the video I did on time, space, reality, and space-time reality. Time, space, reality is within time. Right? That is us here existing within time. Time allows us to slow down and exist on the plane that we exist on. Space-time reality is, outside of the bounds of time, so to speak. So the infinite existence, the receptive activity that we actually come from, if that makes sense, is space-time, right? So time, space, reality is the assimilation of time, so to speak, of what we exist in. It's the assimilation of space and time. Um, and space time reality is the infinite. Let me say it that way. Time space reality is an assimilation of infinity in existence, infinite existence. And space time reality, that is beyond time space reality, it simply is. It is the divine. It is source. It is infinite. Right? So time space, assimilation of infinity. Space time is infinity. So if you kind of look at it like that, you're seeing what we're drawing from. We're drawing from the infinite realms, the unknown in the infinite realms, and bringing that in. And so as that comes in our downloading, this is the downloading as we're coming in from the receptive, we have here the creative activity. And so the solar system, the sun, the stars, the planet, all of that is manifested energy. It is the manifestation that comes out of space-time, that comes out of infinite, right? So it is the existence, it is the assimilation, so to speak, of the infinite. Earth itself, right? Mother Earth, some may say Mother Earth, some may say Daughter Earth. Earth itself is the manifestation, and it is the keeper of time, right? So this information is where I'm saying all of this so we really understand this information, this light energy information. Earth is the keeper of time, and I'm talking from 2D consciousness, which is just the plants, into now what we have now, 3D consciousness. So the plants, the minerals, all of that 2D consciousness, that is time. Earth itself keeps time. Without us, before we even existed, Earth was already keeping time, because the manifestation of it is that, right? These are the downloads that were already coming in from receptive activity, from the infinite space-time reality that is coming through the sunlight, our central sun, and into this earth. Information, light, energy, and information that was being taken in through the consciousness of this earth, which was 2D consciousness. And I'm talking rocks, plants, no humans or nothing yet, taking in the information, being receptors of the information, and that light coming in and channeling into the earth, and information coming back up. We as people, once we come here, we help the planet. We help it move along. And I'm saying this so we understand it even up to date, up to now. As we come here, we become faster processors, so to speak. If you think about what I'm saying as a computer, which some of you already have been, once I say upload, download, you already can kind of make the connections of a computer. It's like the divine matrix operates like a computer. Why do you think we have computers? Man didn't just discover that. It comes from the inner knowing of self. It's kind of like how we built the pyramids. The pyramids are an exemplification of us. We are the temples, right? Computers, we are the computers. Cars, we are the cars, right? It's when man understands itself and then begins to remake itself in some type of fashion of technology. We are the technology, right? So this, with that said, it's understanding, overstanding, and understanding this dynamic that we are the ones that help. The more of us that come here, we become the, thank you, Spirit, the faster processors. We help the processing go faster. So we go from 2D, once when the earth was in 2D consciousness, it was processing, 2 density light. Once we come into play, 3D comes into play, and that includes animals and us, because we are part of the animal kingdom. We're just on the higher end, right? So when that comes into play, we are better conduits of the light, so to speak, or stronger conduits of the light. So we are processing the light faster. So the downloads coming in, and then the uploads that we send out. And think about how many of us multiply. The more we multiply, the faster the processing gets on this earth plane. And this is what brings us up to where we are now, welcome to 5D. How do we get to 5D? Because we've gone from 3D, and the more of us that come, that's why you can't let them lie and say overpopulation. No such thing. The more of us that come, we continue to we speed up the processing of the light. And we speed it up, not just by existing, but the more of us that come here and do our soul work. That means the more of us that remove the resistance out of our wires, remove the shadows, the karmic soot on our soul, all of that is resistance. The more of us that transcend fears and transmute fear into love, we remove the resistance out of our wiring. And anyone who knows about electricity knows what I'm talking about. And when you remove the resistance, you become a clearer channel of the light. So the more of us that do that, even faster the processing goes. And this is how our evolution has brought us to this point, through the consistent, continuous uploading and downloading of light, energy, and information through us, through Earth as the planet first. Let's not count that out, right? And then through us coming along and helping the progression of the planet just by us existing and progressing within ourselves, right? So the more we do our soul work, the more we become stronger conduits of the light, and the more that we continue to help the planetary progression, if that makes sense. Upload, download, right? And we understand that we are these keepers of time. So just as Earth is the keeper of time in and of itself, before we even got here, we now come here as timekeepers, keepers of time. The time-space reality, we in our bodies help to keep the time just by being in existence, and the order and the orchestrating of time in and of itself. We are the keepers of time, in time, within this time that pushes time throughout time-space reality and within space-time, right? So when we truly grasp this, we see the important role we play. And I say all this now, again, to encourage us to continue to do our soul work. This is why it's so important that we do what we need to do to manifest the 5D, the fifth dimension. It is through our soul's work and journeying that we manifest. This is how we got to manifesting the 5D, the fifth dimension, right? And the more we expand, the more we do our soul work, the more we expand our consciousness into this 5D, right? And some of us are even beyond the 5D consciousness. Some who may be star seeds and so forth. We are beyond. We may be at a sixth dimensional or seventh dimensional soul self level, right? Don't forget that there are multiple dimensions going on and moving through you at all times. Just as the energy is moving through you at all times, there is multiple dimensions that we're constantly pushing through. But there's the overall, the holistic soul self, right? So that's the download that I share with you, that I got in my meditation today, that I received as a receptor of this information. And as I continue to work, I will continue to upload or pin up progression, right? Soul's progression. And remember, if you're not progressing, you are at a stagnation, which ultimately is, soul death is what I call soul death, because you're not developing. And so there's a stagnation, there's inertia, and so you're not growing and living, as I say. Let me say it this way, living, because you'll still be alive and living, but holistically and soul-wise, it's like you're at a stagnation if you are not choosing to infuse and ultimately removing the soot off your soul. Which is why, again, I remind us of the Divine Chakra Moon workshop that is coming up. Thank you for those of you who have inquired and are interested. I'm putting the list together, and I will be emailing you the information to be ready to start this Saturday on our 7-day workshop, with this full moon coming up, which is a super full moon, and the eclipse. We're about to enter. We're already feeling it right now. We're entering into the next eclipse window that is reflective of what has happened 6 months ago, which circles around the social dynamic. And I'll do a topic a little bit more about that as well. This is just to remind you to get into the workshop so that you can do it within this time, utilizing this eclipse, utilizing these outer planets that are helping us to energetically shift and move into the next paradigm, especially Pluto and Capricorn, who will not be here after November in Capricorn, and we will be finally entering in to the age of the Aquarian, ushering into the age of the Aquarian with Pluto entering into Aquarius. And you shall have what you say you shall have. That's it. This is what you're uploading right now. This is where you're sticking your pin, you know. So it is according to where you choose to be and how much resistance. And this is what I have to say. One thing too, this workshop helps you to really work out the resistance in your wire so that you can be firing, right? And so I'm gonna leave it right there. You know, don't forget to get your calendar. Get it at a 5D corner near you. Remember, you can just look in the description below and it will have the email information to order your calendar. Remember, it's not just a calendar. It is a tool that will help service you in your soul's growth. With that said, remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare. Continue to share information with each other. And I believe that's all the reminders. It's lovely spending time with you again. I'm using my natural light. I ain't bright lighting it this time. I wanted to try this new device out because y'all know the other one kept blacking out. So we'll see how this works. So with that said, enjoy your time here. Continue to upload, download, and upload again all the light energy and information, because you are conduits of light, star seeds that you are. Right? Intergalactic ones, my gritters, continue to grid on. With that said, love you all. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart right here. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, and light.